Hello, it's Tim here. I thought I would do some testing of some shoes since I seem to have got so many in my closet. So I've got a range of Nike ones here. This is the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2. Now my size in a Nike seems to be a UK 13, so these are all shoes of which are 13s. I managed to pick up a pair of Vaporfly Next in the 13, which is possibly the only one that I could find in the whole country. I think there was only one. Sports Pro Direct was selling them, so there it is. Now these are a couple of pairs of shoes I haven't actually worn yet. This is the Nike Terra Kiger 5 in a black, again in a 13, and this one has just come today, which is the Nike Zoomfly 3, which is meant to be the sort of training version of this. So what I thought I would do first of all is to weigh all the shoes and see how they shape up. So let's start with the one that I've worn the most, which is the Pegasus Turbo 2 here. So let's turn on my scales. And that comes out at about 284. See that? So then let's try the next percent, which feels that should be the lightest, shouldn't it? It certainly feels the lightest. So that comes in at 251. Don't forget this is a US 13, so this is about UK 13. So this is about the biggest that they do. Now in contrast, the trail shoe, which you always think should be quite heavy because there's quite aggressive lugs there, and that one comes in at 357. Now the surprising thing is that the Zoomfly, which really does feel heavy to pick up, comes in at a whopping 364. So this is actually weighing more than the trail shoe. And you think, well, why is that? Because on the face of it, they look kind of similar, the Zoomfly and the Next percent, but on the back you can kind of see that you don't have this rubber at the back, so that must have a bit of weight, and there's a few cutaways in the Next percent which you don't get there, and this looks generally thicker. I've worn the Next percent in about 2 races so far, whereas I haven't worn these Zoomflies at all. If you look at them side by side, then they do appear to be similar, but just picking them up, this sort of material, this sort of blue material here, just feels so heavy, and you can't really flex these much, like the Next percent. So that's because of the carbon plate. Whereas if you go with the Turbos, then there's quite a lot of flex in them. It's more like a traditional shoe. So there's obviously no carbon plate in there to do that. And the Terra Kiger's kind of similar. So I'll put the, and as while we're here, we'll just weigh the Stride foot pod, which comes in at a whopping 7 grams, and if we add on the clip, we get up to 9 grams. So if you wear a Stride foot pod, you're adding on 9 grams to your shoe. When we thought we were up about 360 on the Zoomfly, whereas it's 250 on the Next percent, then not surprising. So there you go. So that's a quick look at the weights. What I'll do now is I'll do a quick run in the Zoomfly and see how they feel, because there must be something in them to be 180 grams more than the Turbos. You think, well, they're kind of on the face of it, a similar shoe, aren't they? I mean, they're both sort of a racer trainer type affair. But why is it that this is just so heavy? It's weird. So what purpose does it serve? Hopefully some. Alright, see you later. Well, again, so I've put the Zoomflies on, and a weird sensation. It always feels like you're wearing a pair of boots. Bizarre sensation. They look quite narrow when you look at the soles, but I've got very narrow feet for my length, and already I'm basically having to tie up the laces as tight as they go. So which is a little bit worrying that you buy a shoe and you're already sort of looking to put the tongues together before you even head out on your first run. Another slight problem is I think, where the hell do I put in my Stride footpod clip? So normally I put it at the front, but I can't fit it in there, so I think I'm going to have to just about wedge it in there
so it's going to have to be a bit more midfoot than it is normally, because I normally push it up to the top of the nearest the toe. So okay, well that's at least that's in. So I wonder if I get slightly different readings from there. But just on feet, I mean, I feel quite comfortable. They do feel a bit wide though, so I mean, maybe it's a case for having a bit more socks. Now, I always wonder whether I could have got away with a 12 in these, because this is the UK 13, and I've got quite a lot of space there. I was quite enjoying wearing the 13s in the Pegasus Turbos. Just don't get that feeling of rubbing at the front, especially when your feet warm up. So obviously my feet are cold at the moment. Yeah, unfortunately they don't do a sort of a half a size, so there's no 12.5 in a Nike. It either goes to a 12 or a 13. So right, I think we need to go out a quick run before it gets dark, and we'll report back when we get back. Alright, bye. Okay, hello again, we're back from the run, and an interesting run. I mean, my first thought, have I bought a pair of hiking boots, because they feel so heavy. They're quite comfortable, but you just feel like you bought something like almost Dr. Martens or something, because you've got such a sort of a heavy feeling shoe with this sort of carbon plate on the bottom. So I ended up doing a lap, sort of wraps around my block, which is just under half a mile a lap, and sort of a mini acceleration run, just to see whether there's any difference running, say, 8-minute miles to, I got down to about 6:30, 6:20 pace, and I could sort of get up there, but you kind of feel that I would struggle to run much faster than that. I mean, I'm probably at the moment I'm probably, I could run flat out probably well under 6 minutes pace. But it felt like I would have to really gone some to do that in this shoe. So I also had to go and stop to tie them up really tight. And oh, hello Daisy. We're actually so I had to stop to tie them up really tight. So you can see here that the tongue's almost touching. If Daisy would get out of the way. And just about managed to get the stride on. Now I'm not sure that I could even now whether I would actually need to take that stride off, and whether there's actually any room. Let's get this stride off. So right, so can I actually put that stride on the other side, because I think tighten it so tight there. Oh yeah, just a bit tight that, isn't it? I'm struggling to actually feed this through. I think I've got this side actually tighter than the other. Oh yeah, just about manage it. Daisy's tail will get out of the way. So yeah, that would be the that would have to clip in if I was wanted to power, or I was on a treadmill on Zwift or something. So yeah, there's quite a lot of room there. I mean, I actually felt like they were the right size lengthwise, because when I got going, there wasn't certainly any rubbing at the front, so even sort of the to and froing in the shoes, I think probably the 13 is the right size for me, even though it's probably maybe quarter to half a size sort of bigger than I really need, but needs must when you don't actually have the shoe. So Daisy is extremely interested in the shoes, as you can tell. So the initial feeling of the Zwift Fly is that it's hard to see what actually purpose it's going to serve, because I've got obviously the Next percent for racing, and I've got the Adios as well, and I've even down here got a pair of these Nike Zoom Streaks, which are Streak LT I think they're called, which are incredibly lightweight. So what actually purpose will they serve? So I mean, they sort of built this like a marathon trainer. I'm not sure, but a bit like Ed Budd, I'll persevere with it a bit longer, because I do feel quite comfortable on foot. But I think it's going to be a day not the day for your fastest runs. I don't think. I think maybe if you had a long road run, I need to sort of test it out on more a steady state. But I think I'd struggle to run, come to much under 7-minute mile pace. Because feel like there's so much weight to carry. I mean, the only good thing is perhaps that they're so heavy that come race day, when you put something like the Adios on, or the Next percent, you've dropped 100 grams before you start. So that alone may also help, and maybe also help to build a bit of ankle strength. Because every time you lose just walking along, putting your feet up from one step to the next feels like you're having to do a lot of work, which in a running shoe is kind of a weird sensation. So
something just maybe just need to get used to. But I got these at a slight discount. I paid my own money for them, £112 I think, rather than retail 140. That's why I got the blue pair rather than the. I was hoping to get a white pair, but I thought, well, if you get £28 off, the white pair's even going to get dirty, isn't it? So a blue pair is not bad. I need to get some blue socks to match, but there you go. So yeah, that's just some quick initial thoughts on the Zoomfly 3. And I'll see if I can give you some thoughts on some other shoes another day, along with this one. Okay, bye.